あれは私の敵だ。
すみません。ここまでありがとうございます。
はあ、もう一残業か。
対フォローロック。いざ参る。
Disclaimer: This Chapter 5 quest continues the story from previous chapter. So, if you haven't watched it yet, you can check out our summary video of Quest Chapter 4 Triple Z. In Chapter 4, we learn that Pearlman tried to escape to the Outer Ring. For context, Pearlman is introduced as the CEO of Vision Corporation. Back in Chapter 1, Vision Corporation came up with a plan to rebuild the old capital city's train station by demolishing it. But they had no plans to evacuate the residents in the area, which would have caused a massive loss of life. Luckily, this cruel scheme was stopped by the Cunning Harris, a group led by Nicole. When Pearlman first arrived at the Outer Ring via air balloon, he was unconscious. Later, Nicole let Wise and Bell know that Pearlman had woken up, signaling the right time to get to the bottom of things. Pearlman revealed that the real mastermind behind Vision Corporation's scandal were Inspector Bringer and Sarah. Inspector Bringer, a senior figure in New Eridu Public Security, is currently running for the role of Public Security Commander in the Janus Quarter, which includes 6th Street and Lumina Square. Meanwhile, Sarah served as Vision Corporation's secretary. After discovering the truth, the team heads to the Outer Ring to meet Pearlman. Before they arrive, the story shifts to Bringer giving a campaign speech where he proudly talked about his heroic effort to keep New Eridu safe and peaceful. He promises to take a strong stand against criminal organizations like Vision Corporation. In Chapter 1, he supposedly led the capture of Vision Corporation, and in Chapter 2, he took charge of the strange monster remains handled by Blobok Heavy Industries. Bringer always seems to be the one catching the bad guy. But after his speech, Bringer is in meeting with Sarah to discuss their schemes. It turned out that all the major events from previous chapter were part of their plan. This includes Vision Corporation's shady project, the evidence of monster in the monument, and the null-face attack on Section 6 in the earlier quest. Oh, if you're not familiar with the hacker Nullface or Section 6 quest story, you can check out our recap of the Section 6 quest for the full details. The story shifts back to the Outer Ring, where Nicole and the team finally meet Pearlman. During their interrogation, Pearlman admits that his role as Vision Corporation CEO was just a cover. The real mastermind behind the company's scheme was Sarah, who had the audacity to pull everything off with Bringer's backing as the head of public security. Pearlman even has evidence of transaction between Sarah and Bringer. The tricky part is figuring out who to report this truth to, since their main adversaries are deeply entrenched in public security. Nicole comes up with a plan, involving an organization with more authority than public security. And guess what? She contacts Han's Elite Forces, or Section 6, and directly reach out to Mayabi. Here's a twist. When Mayabi first joined Han, she was an experienced recruit who got tricked during a mission and nearly lost her prize worth. The person who tricked her? It was Nicole. But in a surprising turn of events, Nicole later returned the sword, and that's how their unusual friendship began. Section 6 starts questioning Pearlman to dig deeper into the truth. However, as an allied unit, they cannot openly accuse Bringer right away and need to investigate further. Tensions rise during the interrogation because Section 6 doesn't fully trust Nicole. Sensing the growing unease, Anby and Billy get ready to draw their weapons. But out of nowhere, Miyabi turns to Belle and declares that Belle must be taken in for further questioning. According to Pearlman, a proxy was involved in Vision Corporation's plan, and Section 6 suspect Belle, being an illegal proxy, might have played a role in the events of each chapter. Nicole steps up to defend Belle, insisting she is innocent. But her defense only makes Section 6 more suspicious. Standing her ground, Nicole defies Section 6 order and chooses to help Belle escape. Amid the tense standoff, a hail of bullets suddenly target Pearlman. Miyabi reacts quickly, using her skill to deflect the attack. This ambush adds more strain between Section 6 and the Kuning Harris, but Nicole uses the chaos to make a run for it with Belle and Pearlman. Their escape doesn't go smoothly. Mercenaries show up, aiming to take out Pearlman. A rocket fired by the mercenaries destroys Piper's vehicle, forcing the group to flee into the hollow. Once inside, Miyabi somehow catches up to Belle. However, Belle is injured and cannot use her ocular implant to reach out for help. This implant is an advanced tech that connects her to her companion, Ayas. Meanwhile, Miyabi is also unable to contact Section 6, leaving the two of them stranded in the hollow without any external communication or a carrot, a crucial navigation tool for exploring the area. Realizing how serious their situation is, Belle suggests teaming up to find a way out. She offers to use data pillar observations to locate an exit, while Miyabi focuses on keeping them safe from ethereal attacks. With no better option, Miyabi reluctantly agrees. As they search, Belle notices something strange about Miyabi's sword, but Miyabi brushes it off. Later, after they defeat an ethereal, traces of ether linger on the blade. These traces end up awakening the demon hidden within the sword. Miyabi's sword, called Zenless, is a cursed family heirloom. It has a unique trait. It grants incredible power to its wielder, but only if Zenless recognize their swordmanship. However, this power comes at a steep price. The sword can drive its wielder out of control, making them aggressive and consumed by a relentless urge to kill. This is shown clearly in Miyabi's short animation, where after witnessing her mother's death, she unleashed the sword's power to destroy every ethereal around her. While the sword saved her during the hollow catastrophe, its bloodthirsty nature make it a double-edged weapon, dangerous to both enemies and its wielder. Miyabi's mother did everything she could to keep the sword away from her, determined to prevent her daughter from inheriting it. To help managing the sword's curse, Miyabi's father crafted a special seed designed to contain its power. During Miyabi's rampage, Belle had an opportunity to escape, but she chose to stay and help her. Belle's promise to get Miyabi out of the hollow, no matter the cost, and it softened Miyabi. She opened about her family's history and the cursed sword. After gathering hollow data and fighting off mercenary, the two managed to escape, although Belle collapsed due to ether energy contamination. While they were in the hollow, the Kuning Harris and Section 6 joined forces to fend off mercenaries. With Belle's assistance, Miyabi delayed Belle's arrest until the investigation was complete. Miyabi then agreed to cooperate with the team to uncover the truth. But the mercenaries had taken Pearlman, the key witness, making rescuing him the team's next objective. With her supercomputer abilities, Fairy successfully pinpointed Pearlman's location in the hollow at Palette Twins. Just as the team was planning how to bring him back, a public security officer sabotaged the power and broke into Wise and Belle's shop. Since it's election season for the public security commander, public security has increased their patrols and started searching every building to maintain order during the voting period. For Wise and Belle, who are proxies and operate illegally, this pose a huge risk. If public security discovered Wise's secret room, their identities will be exposed and they'd be arrested on the spot. Luckily, at the last moment, Zhu Yuan and King Yi arrived to save them.
新たな指令です。街頭パトロールに人手がいります。6分街の隣県は特捜班の方で引き継ぎます。皆さんご苦労様でした。あちらの責任者はもう待機しています。至急向かってください。
Wise asked how Zhu Yuan and King Yi managed to show up at just the right moment. It turned out that Fairy had sent a distress signal to King Yi
0110001101100110011000000
while Miyabi reached out to Zhu Yuan to explain the crimes of Vision Corporation, Bringer, and Sarah. Zhu Yuan, who was an old classmate of Miyabi, also learned the truth about Wise and Belle being proxies. Feeling betrayed, he confronted them since they had always acted like law-abiding citizens before. Even though Zhu Yuan was clearly disappointed, Miyabi stood up for them, convincing him to hold off judgment and dig deeper into the situation. The mission continued with Section 6 heading to Bella Twins to rescue Pearlman. After battling countless mercenaries, they finally found him. But the mercenaries had a backup plan, collapsing Bella Twins to take out everyone inside. In the chaos, Belle discovered a portal. But something felt off. Only one portal appeared when there should have been more. With no other choice, they entered, only to realize it was a trap that led them straight to Bringer, Sarah, and public security forces. Bringer seized the moment to accuse Section 6 of conspiring with Pearlman. At this critical moment, Yanagi made a daring move, claiming that only Miyabi had been working with Pearlman. This gave the rest of Section 6 a chance to escape and regroup to plan Miyabi's rescue. Understanding Yanagi's intention, Miyabi played along, acting like an arrogant leader. She even threw Pearlman into the hollow to keep him out of Bringer's hand. Then, Miyabi was arrested and taken into custody. After regrouping, Section 6 discovered a tracking chip implanted in Pearlman, which allowed Bringer to locate him at any time. Realizing this, they conclude that Bringer's true target was Miyabi, not Pearlman. Yanagi regretted handing Miyabi over to Bringer. But Harumasa devised a new plan. Zhu Yuan and Belle would focus on rescuing Miyabi, while Section 6 would take Pearlman to confront Bringer during his campaign speech at Teden Hollow, a location tied to Vision Corporation scandal. During the mission, Belle took a moment to sincerely apologize to Zhu Yuan. Touched by her honesty, she forgave her and their friendship was restored. While planning Miyabi's rescue, Zhu Yuan reached out to the Hoshimi family caretaker to inform Miyabi's father. Unfortunately, her father couldn't get involved due to political obligation. Belle then turned to her proxy connection and contacted Victoria Housekeeping, a high-end service agency. Through them, they managed to reach Miyabi's father. Surprisingly, instead of worrying about his daughter, he seems more concerned for those who trying to harm her. He explained that Miyabi was incredibly strong, too strong so that her attackers often end up worse off. When Belle mentioned that Miyabi's sword had been acting unpredictably in Hollow, her father immediately recognized the danger. He urged them to ensure Miyabi didn't use the sword directly during the rescue. The story shifts to Miyabi, who is being held in a public security vehicle alongside Sarah. Miyabi, executing confidence, declares that Sarah, Bringer, and his forces are not matched for her. She could take them down even without her sword, but Sarah, fully aware of Miyabi's incredible strength, reveals that her true plan is to turn Miyabi into her own worst enemy. Every step of Sarah's scheme has been carefully calculated. If you remember, or if you're not familiar, you can check the summary of the Section 6 quest. It featured a hacker called Nullface who sabotaged Section 6 VR system. The hacker stole data on Miyabi's physical abilities and combat techniques to attack Section 6, though Yanagi managed to defeat the hacker during the mission. However, the story didn't end there. It's revealed that Nullface was working under Sarah's order. Sarah used the stolen data to replicate Miyabi's fingerprint, giving her access to the sword sheath, which only responds to Miyabi's print. Additionally, using a specialized glove, Sarah extracted a sample of the cursed energy from Miyabi's sword, planning to weaponize it for her own purposes. When Miyabi tries to reclaim her sword, she walks right into Sarah's trap. Without its protective sheath, the cursed sword takes hold of her, pushing her into a berserk state. In this frenzied condition, Miyabi battles the demon within the sword, which tries to take over her body, forcing her to attack anyone nearby. In her distorted perception, she sees only monsters threatening her, relentlessly cutting them down. As the chaos unfolds, Miyabi's body grows weaker, and she edges closer to losing complete control. Yet, her strong determination to protect those she cares about keeps her from succumbing to the tailless demon's influence. Drawing on her courage, Miyabi confronts the demon, boldly promising to turn it into a legendary sword that will demand no sacrifices. Intrigued, the demon remarks that she is the second arrogant Hoshimi it has encountered, but ultimately agrees to her term if she can prove her strength. With the agreement made, the demon promises to grant Miyabi even greater power if she succeeds. Regaining her consciousness, Miyabi finds herself utterly drained. Zuyun reveals that during her berserk state, she managed to push her into the hollow, preventing her from harming innocent people. The ethereal monsters she had been attacking weren't hallucination, they were real. Zuyun notes that had she lost control during Bringer's rally, the casualties would have been catastrophic. Meanwhile, Wise reports that Section 6 has reached Bringer's location, but the scene has devolved into chaos as Bringer attempts to flee. Zuyun decides the priority is getting Miyabi to the hospital first. Meanwhile, at the video store, Koleida came to us and said that Bringer had been reported to the higher-ups at public security with solid evidence. Koleida managed to get proof of transaction between Bringer and Vision Corporation. After the old Capital Metro project fell through, Belobog Heavy Industry took over the project. Realizing his crime had been exposed, Bringer didn't hesitate to create chaos and try to escape. Thankfully, Pearlman cooperated and revealed that Bringer planned to escape through a hollow near a port called Alpis Harbor. Everyone agreed to meet at Alpis Harbor to stop Bringer. King Yi had a clever idea. She and Jendo would lure Bringer into a trap by offering a fake deal to transport the containers he planned to use for his escape. This plan worked perfectly, allowing us to pinpoint Bringer's exact location and prepare to strike. Section 6 confronted Bringer, but things took a turn. He injected himself with something, and surprisingly, it's a sample of the power drawn from Miyabi's sword. Miyabi's sword is made of special ether material by a secret technique, and the demon in the sword holds immense ether energy. This energy is what makes the sword so important for empowering the leader of the Hoshimi clan who wielded it. Sarah had previously extracted a sample of this energy and Bringer injected into himself, transforming him into an ethereal monster. What really stood out was what Bringer said during the injection. "Creator, I implore you, refine me." Honestly, I still don't know what he meant by that, but the monster bringer turned into wasn't just any creature. It was one with the code name Sacrifice, the same name as the one who defeated by Belabog Heavy Industries, tied to the death of Koleida's father. Even when concerned, Bringer refused to give up. He planned to absorb the ether energy around him to become even stronger. Just as things were getting worse, Victoria Housekeeping and Belabog Heavy Industries arrived to help. Victoria Housekeeping is a trusted agency of the Hoshimi family. At the end of Chapter 2, their mysterious master, whose identity is still unknown, told them to watch over us and step in when needed. Meanwhile, Belabog Heavy Industry, the biggest rival of Fission Corporation, has been working to reveal fission scandals, which are also linked to Koleida's father's death. These groups weren't just there for drama, they were deeply connected to the case against Bringer. As Bringer was about to absorb a massive amount of ether energy, Harumasa, despite his weakened state, used his incredible abilities to stop him.
満腹になったらまずい。止めないと。
浅場隊、体が。
平気です。
But the villains weren't ready to give up yet. Just as Bringer started to weaken, someone injected him with more ether, and it was Sarah. Repeating Bringer's own words from before, she said, "May the Creator refine you." In an instant, Bringer turned into even stronger ethereal. Section 6 was exhausted, and Bringer was about to launch a powerful attack. But just in time, Caesar arrived with Section 6's secret weapon, Miyabi. With her return, all the factions were finally together, leading to an epic scene where everyone teamed up for the final battle against Bringer.
諸突猛進お届けだぜ。みんな待たせた。
早かったわね。
お前が元凶だね。何？容疑者を速やかに捕らえる修行だ。
こいつは
モニュメントの時と同じ。
何か来たぞ。
決勝解体ならうちらのお箱だ。
お客様、
お引き取り願いましょう。
大将が無事だといい。
物足りないくらいじゃない？ニコ、エーテリアスだ。ただの雑魚よ。やったるわ。
しゃあ、でけえのは俺様が。いや、あれは私の敵だ。
すみません。ここまでありがとうございます。
はあ、もう一残業か。
対フォローロック。いざ参る。
Long story short, with everyone's help and Miyabi's incredible power, she delivered a powerful, stylish lass that not only defeated Bringer, but also split the hollow itself. After his defeat, a scene showed Sarah making a phone call. She said, "The task is complete. Elixir P07 is confirmed effective. Bringer has served his purpose." Then, she repeated the eerie phrase, "May the Creator refine him." It turned out that Elixir P07 was the ether sample injected into Bringer. It means he was just a test subject all along to prove its effectiveness. Afterward, a fun and cool credit scene showed all the factions coming together after defeating a common enemy. But it wasn't the end. There was a post-credit scene where Wise and Bell confronted Bringer directly. They mentioned the day the old capital was destroyed and how a white hand took their teacher, Carol Arna. This mysterious hand just looked like the one Bringer summoned when he became the Ethereal. As soon as they said Carol Arna's name, Bringer immediately recognized it and tried to blow himself up. Somehow, Wise and Bell walked away completely unharmed from the explosion. Their eyes implant glowed and a glitch-like effect flickered around their eyes. Bringer disappeared, but not before leaving behind Omnimus' last word: "Hide in the shadows from the rest of your days. Keep chasing the illusion of finding the real villain." This scene leaves many questions. Why weren't Wise and Bell hurt? How did Bringer know about the fall of the old capital, Carol Arna's disappearance, and the identity of the real villain? But those mysteries will have to wait for another video. After all the chaos, everyone returned to their usual duties, and Perlman was set to face a fair trial. Before going home, Miyabi took Wise and Bell to the chasm, a memorial for those who died when the old capital fell. Among the names engraved on a pillar was Carol Arna. Wise and Bell hesitated to tell the truth about their teacher, afraid it would affect the bond with Miyabi. In previous quests, Miyabi had sworn to avenge those responsible for the old capital's destruction, the same tragedy that took her mother's life. She told them, "Like Zuyuan, I would be happy to if the trust I've given is returned in kind." Realizing that Miyabi suspected they were hiding something, Belle finally found the courage to speak. She explained their connection to the real preparator of the old capital's destruction and point out how strange the whole event was. Belle described how Helia's Academy had been attacked by an unknown force and a giant white hand, just like the one Bringer had summoned. Hearing this, Miyabi began to see things differently. She agreed to help them uncover the real truth. As a sign of trust, she made them her personal proxies and gave them a hair ornament, a symbol of their alliance and protection under the Hosemi family, one of the most powerful families in New Eridu. And with that, Chapter 5 main quest came to an end. In the final part, there was a side quest about Esther Yao, a famous celebrity in New Eridu who just wanted a break from her hectic life on her birthday. She contacted us through the internet and tried to explore the city in disguise. Not a very effective one though. She visited different places, trying to blend in, but in the end, she chose to reveal her identity. Her bodyguard, Evelyn, quickly found her and took her back to her celebrity life. And that's the summary of chapter 5. I hope this summary was helpful, and don't forget to subscribe. So, what do you guys think about this quest? Let me know in the comments. See you in the next video. Ciao!